Okay, so today is kind of a question and answer day for some of your peeps that are having extra questions. And I've learned that if one person has a question, that sometimes more than one person has a question as well. So, Jennifer,
Yes.
come up here.
No.
No, okay, so Jennifer doesn't want to be seen on camera. Jennifer's question is.
So it involves the 3 E's that
Okay.
we talked about, and so you said, how does that apply with the PDI? And I understand that it applies with the performance, but what I don't understand is that how the RDIs, the RDA, and the DRI values go into the other 2 issues and the other problems, because it doesn't apply to somebody who doesn't do anything all day, but it only primarily applies to athletes, and then the athletes range from men and women to different sizes, and so I just don't see how the PDIs really fall into that, only into that one specific category.
Excellent question. So again, go with me, always review. What was the first one?
Survival.
Okay. And those are the RDAs?
Yes.
So, what I'm hearing you wonder is, why is it important for anyone, what was the next one?
Optimum.
It's ODI. isn't it?
ODI.
Sorry. And then was the third one?
PDA. Or I.
You're killing me.
Sorry. My bad.
Okay. So, I'm hearing your question say, if someone really is being more than a couch potato, why do they really need to even think about moving in this direction or this direction? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I will say is, even if you are at the basic, let's just say slug, for lack of a better word, any time that we can get people from remember what did we call this? What was the SAD? The Standard American Diet. Anytime we can get people from sad to glad, okay, that's us improving their health, which that really may lead to them getting their butts off the couch and feeling more like a glad human being. So many times people that are stuck in this RDA, survival slug, sad mode, they really don't have the zest, the energy, the want to, the drive to want to do more than thrive. And so they kind of stay stuck in a rut instead of moving to a groove. And I love that analogy. When you look at a road, some people can see it as a rut and some people can see it as a groove. Try not to stay stuck in a rut. Try to think about moving in a groove, because that's what's going to help people. And friends, it can be one small step at a time. The whole thing about getting rid of the sweet tea, the whole thing about choosing to not drink sodas, those are huge steps. Trying to step away from the candy bowl, trying to just make these simple changes. And then whenever you get rid of that sugar, start to replace it with healthy fats and proteins. Because what we're seeing is so many people are getting way too much sugar and not enough of these nutrients that really are aiding in their moving from being sad to being glad.
Well, see, it says, I also included it in my paper because it does state in the book that it states in the survival and basic health that these government-based guidelines are not aimed to achieving the optimum health, which is the GLAD, and so referring to the RDAs that were made. So it was kind of weird to look at both ways. That's what I was really trying to get at ease on that.
Exactly. And so I perceive those words as saying that as long as people are bought into the RDAs, they stay stuck here. And one of the things that really bothers me as well is many of our medical professionals are still saying that survival is all you basically need. Like, for example, when you think about vitamin D levels, the survival range is from 50 to 150. Well, here's my thing. If 50 milligrams per, and then the way it's measured in milligrams per unit per deciliter of blood. That's how it's, whenever you do a vitamin D test, it's on how much vitamin D they find circulating in your blood. Well, if 50 of these is going to really keep you surviving, why don't we change this more towards the optimal level of performance? And one of the things that we're going to talk about is actually, I'm not huge on supplements, except for I do think we all need to be taking a vitamin D3 supplement. The things that vitamin D3 is doing to the body are amazing, and we're finding out that 90% of the people, finally when their doctor is even wise enough to recommend vitamin D testing, people are critically low in vitamin D. So that's one of the, it's an inexpensive vitamin. They look like little bitty pearls. They're gold, they're just little bitty, they're super easy to swallow, they're not giant horse pills.
Where do you get them from?
You can get them anywhere. You can get them, but be sure it's D3. Like I said.
What does cheap mean? Like, how much is it?
Pardon?
What does cheap mean for a supplement?
You can get a bottle of it for $5.
How?
I mean, incredibly cheap. And I really recommend, vitamin D, as I mentioned, is measured in IUs, not milligrams, which is international units. I really recommend that we all be taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. You guys, I had my vitamin D levels checked, kind of as a well woman exam. Even with all the clean nutrition I consume, and we typically synthesize vitamin D from the sun, and I am a sun lover, I was critically low, and I was already taking it before. So my doc recommended go ahead and adding. I was taking 2,000, okay? She told me to add 5,000, so I'm currently taking 7,000 IUs of vitamin D and having lab work done again in 2 weeks to ensure that this low levels of vitamin D are bone health is really, really low with people that don't have good vitamin D. It's been shown to be linked to depression for people that don't take adequate levels or have adequate levels of vitamin D. It's actually kind of referred to as the sunshine vitamin at times. So think about that. That why should we live at just the lower end of the recommendations instead of striving to be thriving instead of settling for surviving? Does that make sense, Jennifer?
Yes.
Awesome. And I love that you're reading your book. Well played. Okay? Any other, I think Jillian had a question as far as it related to what, Jillian?
The math portion?
Oh, the math portion of the program. Is this a real marker? It says dry erase marker. Okay, I'm gonna stop this section.